Hi, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Saturday, February 10th. Let's rock and roll into this basketball slate. Ton of college basketball, full slate of NBA. As the Super Bowl's tomorrow, so everybody trying to avoid those Sunday games, as there's normally only one sporting event on Super Bowl Sunday that gets any attention. So let's get rocking and rolling. We'll get started in college basketball. Wisconsin, Rutgers. Wisconsin coming off, they've had a couple, how do I put this? They had a disappointing loss against Purdue. They thought they had a great shot there. Came back, laid an egg against Michigan. Now we're going against Rutgers. I think to get on the road, they get their shit straight. They are a much better team than this. I think they're a top 4 seed for sure in the NCAA tournament. Could be as high as 2, maybe 3, but we like Rutgers in this matchup, going to Rutgers, or Wisconsin going to Rutgers. Line opened at 3 yesterday. It's about 3.5, so not a ton of movement on this one. We do like Wisconsin, though, minus 1.5 first half, minus 3 for the game. Wisconsin minus 1.5 first half, minus 3 for the game. Next game up, Yukon, Georgetown. Let's put this in simple terms. Number 1 team in the country, Connecticut or Yukon. Number 300 plus team, Georgetown. Georgetown not good. 16.5 point favorite right around there at this point. Some 16s in some spots. Georgetown is really bad. Yukon has been good on the road. I wouldn't say dominant on the road, but should be good enough to cover this number and twice on Sunday. So we're going to take Yukon minus 9.5 first half, minus 16.5 for the game. One more time, Yukon minus 9.5 first half, minus 16.5 for the game. Next game up we're going to be on is going to be, if we can find it here, let's see, Iowa State, TCU. So normally we would bet Iowa State here in any situation at home. This number, though, is kind of getting out of control. Like at 5.5, I kind of saw that, but we moved past that key number of 5, and we're all the way up to 8. TCU's a damn good ball club, and they travel well as well. So we'll hang with TCU. We'll take the points in this particular matchup. TCU plus 4.5 first half, plus 8 for the game. One more time, TCU plus 4.5 first half, plus 8 for the game. Next game that we're on, Nebraska, Michigan. Michigan, I think they had an amazing game against Wisconsin. I don't think they're going to get 2 of them in a week. So we like Nebraska in this particular one here. Nebraska is a tournament team, folks. If you don't know, Nebraska is a tournament team, and I'm not going to say the best eye candy to watch, but they are a tournament team. They are getting wins. And I know this line has moved. It opened at some books at 7.5 yesterday. Some books it opened at 9.5. It continues to be at that 9.5 mark in most spots, but we did grab Nebraska minus 5 first half, minus 7.5 for the game. One more time, Nebraska minus 5 first half, minus 7.5 for the game. Next game up, New Mexico, UNLV. New Mexico at the pit. They've had that one hiccup, but other than that, they've been fantastic. They are still one of the best cover teams in the country. In fact, the lines went down, so I think you get a better option here. But we did take New Mexico minus 6.5 first half against UNLV, minus 12.5 for the game. One more time, New Mexico minus 6.5 first half, minus 12.5 for the game. Tennessee going to Texas A&M. Tennessee's kind of in the gauntlet, or they're part of their schedule. The thing is, though, they have the team to do it. This line's moved. It was 3.5 down to 1.5. We're going against the number here on the way the lines move, but we do like Tennessee in this matchup, minus 0.5 first half, minus 1.5 for the game. Tennessee minus 0.5 first half, minus 1.5 for the game. Marquette, St. John's. St. John's has been a good story. They're going to be relevant again, I think, pretty soon here. I just think they're more relevant at home at the time. Marquette is tough at home. Marquette has the best guards in the country. So we'll take Marquette minus that 3.5 first half, minus 7.5 for the game. One more time, Marquette minus 3.5 first half, minus 7.5 for the game. And the last college game we're on, BYU, Kansas State. This line opened at 142.5 for a total yesterday. We smacked it on the over. I can't believe how much it's moved. It's already up to 146.5. I still like the over here. I don't see how this isn't in the 150s. So I still think you got some good value here, but BYU, Kansas State, over 69 in the first half, over 142.5 for the game. One more time, BYU, Kansas State, over 69 first half, over 142.5 for the game. Now we'll get into the NBA slate. There's a bunch of stuff, including early games. So we'll get started with the first game out of the shoe, 1:10 out here in Phoenix. So that's 3:10 Eastern. Thunder travel to the Mavs. The Mavs have been hot as of late. The Thunder have been hot all season. Thunder laying 2 in Dallas, 239 total. We got the Luka SGA matchup. We've got Kyrie. We've got Chet Holmgren. We got stars and youngsters all over the place. But still going to go with the Thunder here. I just think they're strong enough to withstand anything the Mavericks, even if the Mavericks have an onslaught of threes early, which is definitely possible with that team. The Thunder are skilled enough, and they can go down low, and they've got a lot of options as well. And definitely when they get into bench time, I think the Thunder can definitely, their second unit seems to be quite a bit better than what Dallas can offer here. So we're going to take the Thunder in this matchup here. Thunder -0.5, first quarter -0.5, third quarter -0.5, first half -2 for the game. Chet Holmgren, over 16.5 points, over 1.5 threes. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 3+ threes. Holmgren over 28.5 par, but we are going to go under 2.5 blocks on Holmgren. We don't anticipate a lot of block opportunities here. It's a lot of drives to the hoop that are dish outs for threes for the Mavs normally, so under 2.5 blocks. Luka over 3.5 turnovers, but we do like the Thunder over 121.5 team total. I know this is 120.5, but we figured they can get that extra point instead of 121 to 122, and it turns into plus money instead of minus money. So on that one there, take the juice out of play. If they're going to score either 105 or 130, this is the kind of way I look at it on that one. So 105, they play some big defensive game and still get the victory, or 130 and they outscore the Mavs. So one more time, Thunder Mavs. Thunder -0.5 first quarter, third quarter first half. Thunder -2 for the game. Holmgren over 16.5 points, over 1.5 threes, also 3+ threes. Holmgren over 28.5 par, under 2.5 blocks. Luka over 3.5 turnovers. And the Thunder over the 121.5 team total. Next game up is going to be Pistons, Clippers. The Pistons are, let's just be honest here. The difference in talent and game should be, I understand why the line's 16. The Clippers sometimes play down to the competition a little bit. And the Pistons, for some reason, when they're a double-digit dog, tend to keep these games close. And a lot of times it boils down to the first quarter for these guys. So if they come out and they can score first quarter, I think getting rid of Bogey kind of opens up Jay Ivey a little bit more. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, they all played well in the last game. We'll see if they continue this matchup here. We're going to take the Pistons today. I know it's a hard thing to say, but I can't take the Clippers -16 points there. So Pistons +5.5 first quarter, +9.5 first half, +16 for the game. Cunningham over 21.5 points, over 1.5 threes, over 32.5 par. Jaden Ivey is the other one we're focusing on, over 20.5 points, over 2.5 threes, and over 29.5 par. James Harden over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in this Pistons-Clippers matchup, Pistons +5.5 first quarter, +9.5 first half, +16 for the game. Cade Cunningham over 21.5 points, over 1.5 threes, over 32.5 par. Jaden Ivey over 20.5 points, over 2.5 threes, and over 29.5 par. And then we're going back to the Harden over 2.5 turnovers, and it is +130 today, folks, instead of being minus money. So it's because the Pistons, they don't think play defense, which I understand. So on that one completely. So next game up for us is going to be Spurs Nets. Spurs getting 5.5 on the road in Brooklyn. This is one of those games I can't. It's hard to figure out either side. There's some definitely inconsistency. The Spurs tend to give away more games than they lose. I mean, that somebody beats them, they give away a ton. Wemby obviously is the main focus here for us. He's been a main focus all season long. Now, I will say this: the last 3-4 games, he's been getting this beat up on his point total a little bit. And it's just this minutes restriction. They still don't want to push him to like 32, 33 minutes. And I can understand that, but you're 19 years old. This is the time when you should be played 35 minutes, 36 minutes. So we're not going to pick a side or a total on this particular one, but we do like some Wemby props. We'll play those. So Wemby over 22.5 points, over 1.5 threes. We'll also sprinkle some on 3+ threes. He's been shooting the three ball pretty well as of late. And then Wemby over 2.5 blocks. It's back down to like minus 105. I don't know how you don't do that when he's averaging over 3 blocks a game. So one more time, Wemby over 22.5 points, over 1.5 threes, 3+ threes, and then also over 2.5 blocks. Next game up, Magic, Bulls. We'll try to stay away from the kryptonite as much here as possible. Magic laying 5 at home, 219.5 team total. Or not team total. How about 219.5 total for the game? Magic been playing well. Bulls been up and down and around. It's hard to get a read on what the hell they're going to do. I'm surprised they didn't make more moves at the trade deadline, like just breaking it down, but it just refused to bust this down and make it like a 20-win team for 3 straight seasons. So Magic laying 5 here. We don't like the side or the total. But Banchero's point prop is back down to 23.5, so we're going to go over that, over 1.5 threes, over 6.5 rebounds. We're also going to sprinkle a little bit on 10+ rebounds and over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in the Magic, Bulls, Banchero over 23.5 points, over 1.5 threes, over 6.5 rebounds. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 10+ rebounds. And DeRozan for the Bulls over 2.5 turnovers. Next game up, 76ers Wizards is the next game. We currently do not have anything on this game. Currently, Wizards are getting 4 at home, 237 total. There's not really any player props out because we don't know who the hell is going to play. I almost guarantee you if Tobias Harris is playing, we're going under points. So make sure you do check out the Google Sheet at the end of the episode. This will give you a little bit closer to game times. This game doesn't start till like 7 o'clock Eastern. So I'm sure we'll have some plays on this particular matchup, just none as of yet. There's nothing available besides actually playing the line, and we're necessarily not a big fan of the line here on that one. So check back to the Google Sheets for that one. Next game up is going to be the Hornets and the Grizzlies. Man, there are some just god-awful games right now. The 76ers and Wizards, who the hell wants to watch that? The Bulls and the Magic, the Spurs and the Nets, the Grizzlies and the Hornets. Ugh. Anyway, how do you bet on either one of these? So the Hornets get blown out by Milwaukee last night. Not a shock there. Come back home, face the Grizzlies. We don't like the side of the total, but Brandon Miller's, okay, his threes number yesterday was 4.5. Today it's at 2.5. He only got 1 yesterday. We had the under on that one, but we're going to go to the over tonight, and we're just going to play Brandon Miller threes so far in this game. So Brandon Miller over 2.5 threes, 4+ threes, and 5+ threes. He was shooting lights out from the three for a while. Miles Bridges' point total's gotten up to like 26.5, so we're going to stick away from that one because he's one of those guys. He's either going to score 35 or 15. He doesn't give you a lot of consistent nights around the 25 ballpark. So Brandon Miller over 2.5 threes, 4+ threes, 5+ threes. Next game we're on, Cavs. We do like this one quite a bit. Cavs, Raptors. Cavs are on a heater, to say the least, going to Toronto. Toronto gets a win last night against the Rockets. The Rockets kind of just looks like they gave up. I mean, it really does. Raptors 8.5 point favorite. Cavs 8.5 point favorite, 230 total. Donovan Mitchell is on a heater as well. So Cavs -3 first quarter, -5.5 first half, -8.5 for the game. Donovan Mitchell probably going to be our best bet as well. Over 27.5 points. Scotty Barnes under 20.5 points. Jacob Poeltl for the Raptors over 11.5 points. Donovan Mitchell over 3.5 threes. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 5 and 6+ threes. Mitchell over 39.5 par. Jarrett Allen over 10.5 rebounds, over 1.5 blocks. And Scotty Barnes over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in this Cavs-Raptors matchup. Cavs -3 first quarter, -5.5 first half, -8.5 for the game. Donovan Mitchell over 27.5 points, over 3.5 threes, 5+ threes, and 6+ threes, over 39.5 par. Scotty Barnes under 20.5 points, but over 2.5 turnovers. Jacob Podol over 11.5 points. Jarrett Allen over 10.5 rebounds and over 1.5 blocks in that particular matchup there. Next game up is going to be Rockets at the Hawks. There's nothing really on this game besides a line and a total 4.5-point favorite for the Hawks. 242 total. Nothing on this game as of yet, so make sure you check the Google Sheets. This is one we're going to have to get updated later. It almost starts at, 7:30 Eastern Time. Same thing for the Pacers and the Knicks. Knicks 3.5-point home dog. Not sure who's going to play yet. There's a few Pacers props out there, but more interested to probably see what's on the Knicks side and see who's going to play. So there's going to be at least 3-4 games we're going to update but via Google Sheets, so make sure you do check those out. Link in to view all of those, all of our bets. Another winning day yesterday, 60-plus unit day. Pushed us over 5,000 units up for the season, so make sure you do check that out as well. The last 2 games on the board, Suns at the Warriors. Fourth game of the season between the 2 teams here. The Suns have taken the first 3. The Suns have covered this 2 number in all those games as well. We like this. Going back to the Suns right now are hot. The Warriors have played pretty well in some spots and then laid eggs in others. I don't think they're going to lay an egg against the Suns tonight, but I do think that, the Suns have enough firepower to beat them here, and Devin Booker's supposed to be back. Bradley Beal, only one on the injury report, and he's in game time decision as he normally is. So we'll take the Suns -0.5 first quarter, -1 first half, -2 for the game. Devin Booker, though, has scored 32 points in 2 of these games, and the other one 25. So we'll take the over 28.5 points, over 2.5 threes, over 38.5 par, and Steph Curry to contribute his 3 turnovers as normal, over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time, Suns -0.5 first quarter, -1 first half, -2 for the game. Booker over 28.5 points, over 2.5 threes, and over 38.5 par. And Steph Curry to pitch in with his 2.5 turnovers. And then Pelicans, Trailblazers. No player props in here, but we do like the side in this one. We really like the Pelicans here. It looks like Anthony Simons is going to be out, major contributor for the Trailblazers. I don't think Jeremiah Grant can continue to score 40+ in order to beat anybody. So we do like the Pelicans in this matchup. There's no player props available yet for the Pelicans, so stay tuned for that on those Google Sheets that we talked about multiple times here so far. But Pelicans -2.5 first quarter, -4.5 first half, -7.5 for the game. One more time, Pelicans -2.5 first quarter, -4.5 first half, -7.5 for the game. So, like I've mentioned multiple times throughout the show, make sure you do check out the Google Sheets at the end of every episode that we do in the comment section. There will be a link there. It's docs.google.spreadsheet, a bunch of other stuff behind it. This will give you a ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got those bets at, how many units we placed, what book we placed them at, then obviously the result. So do make sure you check that out. We are volume better, so you need this sheet in order to keep up with everything that we do. So check that out when you got some time. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, makes life so simple to find us once you hit that subscribe button. Turn notifications on for YouTube. You'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped some new bets. Give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. And let's make that money. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.